What's up, everybody? I'm Gigi of Gigi by Design, here to help you master your mindset so you can design your destiny one thought at a time. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that's near and somewhat dear to my heart, and that is manifesting weight loss. My philosophy on manifestation is a little bit different than most people. I believe that it's a combination of your thoughts and beliefs plus inspired action that allows you to really attract in the life of your dreams. It's not just sitting around on your couch visualizing and waiting for things to happen to you. You have to move because the universe is a mirror, so it's going to reflect back the actions that you take. Now, just to add a disclaimer, I am not a medical or healthcare professional of any kind. This is purely my own thoughts and experiences and the plan that I put together for myself based on my own personal needs. So please do keep that in mind if you plan to undergo something similar to. The reason I made this video is because manifesting weight loss or struggling with weight loss is something that I've dealt with since I was a teenager. I was always very self-conscious about my body and I never truly liked the way I looked. But recently I had a shift in perspective that allowed me to really want to challenge myself and prove to you guys that I can talk the talk and walk the walk, because as a coach, if I don't practice what I preach, then what am I even doing? With this manifesting weight loss challenge, I wanted to give myself a deadline. 90 days, around mid-June is when summer is going to kick in. So I figured that's the perfect amount of time and it gives me a goal to strive for. I'm the type of person that thrives on building systems and processes, and I felt like I had accumulated enough knowledge at this point that I could put together an action plan that maybe you can try and follow along with at home if this is something you're interested in too. I also wanted to confront and challenge all these limiting beliefs that I had around my body and body image growing up. I had beliefs like I was always chubby, or I was going to be big boned, or I was never going to have the body of my dreams. And the role models that I saw growing up didn't look anything like me. Granted, I was watching a lot of MTV, and the aesthetic at the time was very thin, very blonde, and big boobs, which is the one thing I did have going for me. I always felt inferior to my peers because I wasn't fitting the mold of what was attractive at the time. Now, luckily, times have changed and body image has come a long way, especially with the body positivity movement. As I've gotten older, I've become a lot more accepting of the way I look, but there's still some things that I'd like to achieve. And also, again, I just really enjoy a challenge. With this manifesting weight loss, it's more about confronting my limiting beliefs, following through on a plan, and really leading into something like exercise that I've always had a weird mindset around. For me, exercise was always about losing weight or trying to achieve a specific goal. But the revelation I had recently is that I want to work out now because I enjoy how it makes me feel. I notice that when I don't exercise or I don't prioritize my self-care, I tend to start feeling more anxious and depressed than I would like. And it just gives me something to look forward to. I love going on my walks every day, and I can bring my dog with me. So my mindset around it has really changed, which I think is going to help me be a lot more successful in this challenge. So I'm going to walk you through the protocol I put together, and maybe there's some things you can implement too. I'm not the type of manifester that likes to just sit back and visualize and wait for things to happen to me. It makes me feel like I don't have any control over the situation. So I prefer to focus on my thoughts and beliefs and then take action in alignment with that. My whole thing is, if you're just sitting around visualizing your weight loss, eventually your thoughts, beliefs, and habits around your body image are going to have to change in order for you to get the results you want, no matter what. Continuing to think and believe the way that you always did and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. With my weight loss protocol, I put together pretty clear guidelines for myself, but I did allow a little bit of wiggle room because I don't like to adhere to things that are too strict, otherwise my brain likes to rebel. That's why diets often tend to fail, because they're too restrictive and you have to stay on it forever in order to see results, which is just not something I believe in. Now, I'm going to put my stats up here so you can see my starting point, and then every couple weeks I'll probably do an update video just so you can kind of see how things are going. I'm actually currently already around 5 days in, and I'm already noticing some pretty interesting results. But I do like to have a starting point so I can track my progress along the way. Now, my goal here isn't necessarily weight loss, it's more fat loss and muscle tone, which is why body measurements are going to be more important than looking at the scale. If your body composition changes to more muscle tone, you're going to look a lot different, even though your weight might not change that much on the scale. So with my protocol, I wanted to focus on things that I actually really enjoyed doing for exercise, because that's how you're going to stay motivated. Going back to those beliefs that I had growing up, I did a lot of exercises that I didn't truly enjoy because I wanted to get a desired result. For example, running. I can run for short periods of time, but I am not a long distance runner by any means. But I used to force myself through these long runs because I thought it would help me get thinner faster. And the thing is, I would get burned out because I didn't enjoy it. And then I felt like a failure, and then it just became this downward spiral. But for this upcoming challenge, I decided to focus on only things that I really enjoy doing. And for me, that's a combination of walking, strength training, where I go to a CrossFit gym, and then also Pilates to kind of balance out some of those smaller muscle groups that I might not hit with CrossFit. I'm more of a strength training girly, not so much a cardio girly, so that's why I prefer just to focus on walks or just walking on the treadmill at the gym. So my goal, to make it attainable, again, because I don't want to set myself up to fail by setting the bar too high, is that I plan to do CrossFit/Pilates around 4 times a week. Now that could be a combination of 2 CrossFit classes and 2 Pilates classes, or 3 CrossFit classes and 1 Pilates class, or if I'm really feeling up to it, I'll do 4 CrossFit classes and no Pilates. So that's where that flexibility really comes in. I want to set the parameter of 4 times a week, but it's kind of up to me how I want to balance that out depending on how I'm feeling. Because in the past, what I would do is I would say I want to do CrossFit 3 or 4 times a week, but depending on the workouts we were doing, I could be really sore and then I don't want to go the next day, and then I feel like a failure, and again that downward spiral starts to happen. So that's why I like to give myself a little wiggle room so I can really see how I'm feeling during the week. Another non-negotiable for me is that I want to hit 7,500 steps a day. Now, some people say that 10,000 is the goal, but again, sometimes that's not realistic. And if I don't hit the goal, then I don't want to start feeling like I failed. So I'd rather set the bar a little bit on the lower side and form that habit of consistency. Because when I get those little wins, and those little wins add up over time, they help you build trust in yourself. You're going to become the type of person that sticks to their goals. So I actually opt to shoot a little under than what I'd ideally like, and then hopefully I surpass it, which this last week I have, which brings me to my next point, protein. Now, a lot of people in the fitness community like to talk about a gram per body weight or 0.8 grams per body weight, and I just wanted to do an easy number that I could remember and was within my range. So I opted for 100 grams of protein. But again, that's going to change depending on your body and your needs and how much you're exercising. But I felt like that was an achievable number that, again, hopefully I exceed it, but at least I'm hitting that every single day. And guess what? I've been exceeding it, just like my step goal. So I would actually encourage you to maybe aim a little bit under what you actually want to do, because it'll be more achievable and you'll get those little wins, especially if this is something that you're doing for the first time. You want to build up that belief and trust in yourself. Another thing I forgot to mention when it comes to manifesting weight loss is the importance of planning and preparation. You don't go into any goal without having some sort of plan in place, otherwise you're going to set yourself up to fail. You wouldn't half-ass your savings plan and expect to hit your goal, so why would you half-ass your diet or workout plan and expect to hit your weight loss goal? What I like to do is I like to put everything in my calendar, and I will show you what that looks like. I like to utilize the big ass calendar because it lets me see everything at a macro level. If you take a look closer, every single day I like to track what my workout was, if I hit my protein goal, and my steps. And you'll notice that I don't always hit the mark, so then I have to scale accordingly. For example, here when I missed my workout, what did I do? I added more steps in. There is a level of flexibility that you have to kind of build in because you're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. As a foodie, I definitely understand the struggle of wanting to eat healthy but still enjoy my life and go out to eat on occasion. So I do make an effort to plan out all my meals in advance, and I definitely prioritize protein in the center of those meals. Whether that's a plant-based protein or an animal-based protein, that's usually what I center my meals around, and that usually guarantees that I'll hit my protein goals as well. I also like to make sure I make healthier things that I would order when I go out so I don't feel deprived. Like maybe I'll make a pizza at home instead of ordering delivery, or I'll make turkey burgers instead of ordering burgers from a normal place, or I made chicken enchiladas last week that were absolutely delicious and healthy because I added extra vegetables in as opposed to going out to eat. That way I was still able to enjoy life a little bit while going after my goals, and that's what's going to allow you to really maintain that resilience throughout. I know I've spent a lot of time talking about the action-based portion of manifesting, but what about the mindset piece? I am really on top of my mindset because I like to listen to affirmation tracks at night. And there's a lot of content on there about why that's beneficial for you, but basically the state that your brain is in while you're sleeping is more receptive to taking on new beliefs, as opposed to trying to flip your thoughts all day long, which I always found super challenging. I like to listen to affirmation tracks at night. And then if I do notice that limiting beliefs are popping up, I like to counter those with an action to disprove that belief. When it comes to working out, I might typically go for a certain weight. Like maybe I normally go for 15-pound dumbbells. During the workout, I might opt to go for 20 pounds and try it for a couple reps and then scale it back down to 15 if I need to. More often than not, I wind up surprising myself and I do more than I actually thought I did. That's how you wind up manifesting a new reality, is taking these little micro actions that challenge that limiting belief that you're dealing with in real time. Every time you take one of those micro actions that counteracts that limiting belief, you are becoming the type of person that has already achieved your goal. With my fitness and weight loss goal, every time I go a little harder at the gym, or I plan out my meals, or I take a couple extra walks throughout the day to hit my step goal, I'm becoming the version of me who's already accomplished that. Because once I become the version of me, the fittest version of me that I'm trying to achieve, I still have to maintain it. I'm still going to be doing those actions every day regardless. I'm still going to be trying to eat healthy. I'm still going to try walking every day and getting in my steps. So why not start doing those things now that the version of you who already accomplished that goal would be doing? Because you're still going to have to maintain it after you get the goal anyway. It's just that now, instead of it becoming a conscious effort, it eventually becomes this habitual, natural part of your life. And that's what it would be like once you've achieved your goal anyway. As someone who loves their coffee, I can be notoriously dehydrated. So I decided to set myself a reasonable water goal. Now, the industry standard is like 100 ounces a day, but again, sometimes that's just not feasible, and I want to set myself up for success. So I gave myself the goal of 70 ounces of water per day, which I've exceeded every single day, because when you shoot low, you tend to aim higher because you want to exceed that goal. And then lastly, supplements. As someone who is not in the medical or healthcare field, this is personally on you to figure out what works best for your body. I advise you to do what's best for you, but this is just the protocol that I chose to go with. Creatine is one of the most researched supplements on the market, and it's been around for a very long time. It's also very cheap, so it's not something that you have to spend a ton of money on, and it's known to have multiple benefits. One is to help you retain water, which you might think is a negative thing, but keeping yourself and your muscles hydrated is what's going to give you more energy during your workouts. And when you have more energy during your workouts, you can lift heavier. And when you can lift heavier, you're going to build more muscle, which is going to cause you to lose fat more quickly. So I'm opting for a daily creatine supplement of 5 milligrams per day. And it's just a plain basic powder that I mix into my coffee. So I'm already drinking that along with collagen. I'm adding collagen in because my collagen happens to have 10 grams of protein in it. And I think a decent amount of collagen supplements have this as well. So not only am I doing things for my hair, skin, and nails, I'm getting that extra boost of protein, which is going to make it easier for me to hit my protein goal. And lastly is just a daily multivitamin. I want to make sure that I'm getting all the proper nutrients so that I can fuel my body in the best way possible. So this is my protocol and my strategy for manifesting weight loss over the next 90 days, and I hope you'll follow along with me on my journey and share below what your goals are. Take care and happy manifesting.